So as I said, because of shortage of time, we are compressing everything. Then the core of integral living is to find an aim of life. A life which is without an aim is a purposeless life. It's open to all kinds of forces and suggestions because there is no purpose to it. It's drifting. But the moment we give life a purpose, we'll see that whatever be the place, whatever be the challenges, if you remember the purpose, you will move towards it. This is the core. And that purpose can't be, I have a purpose in life. What? I want to become a big doctor. No, that's not a purpose of life. That's only a job. Purpose of life is, it could be an idealized mentality which human being have, an ideal of truth, of love, of beatitude, a state which is full of peace. That can be a purpose. Finding the divine purpose, finding the immortal soul purpose. It's something intrinsic. So once we give life a purpose, it serves to navigate us through everything. Even if you are in the worst kind of prison, you see, there is a little story where there was a man went to the circus and all the animals were there. So he goes and takes an interview. Of course, a story, take it like a story. Hello, parrot, how are you? Oh, I'm great, doing great. What are you doing great? See, I'm moving this cycle. And so every day I do this much cycling and they give me so much of food to eat. But you were meant to fly and say some mantra, I am enjoying life. And then he goes to all the animals and they are doing all these things which is so unnatural to animals. But they are doing it because they are being fed. And then he asks the animals, but don't you feel you are like a prisoner to human beings? It doesn't matter. Who will make effort in the jungle? We are being given food in time, that's enough. That's all we want. Then he sees one lion sitting around the fence looking to the other side. So he goes and asks the lion. This man knows animal language. Okay, by the way, there is an animal language and you can know it. So he goes and asks the lion, what are you doing? He says, the only thing that is worth doing. So what is worth doing? He says, I am trying to understand what is the nature of this net in which I am caught. Why? Because I want to be free. It's my nature to be free. But will you go into the jungle? You'll have to make effort. He says, that's what I am born for. Now you see, when we know that, why do we fall back from the purpose? Because we choose security and comfort over purpose. So because we choose security and comfort, now security is a need in human beings, but it should not become the goal of life. Security is needed, little bit. But if you say security is the goal of life, then even 100 crores rupees cannot make you secure for a very simple reason. Because you may have all the money in the world and you step out and you see what happened to Princess Diana. Paparazzi died so suddenly, so swiftly. And not one, so many instances like that. Money can never give security. Security comes from inside, from the feeling, from the faith. Security comes from faith that there is a divine presence within us, and if I trust it, it will take me through everything. But where are we going? It is important. The only question we must remind ourselves every day is, which direction I am moving? Where am I going? Where am I supposed to reach? If you remember it, even if your hands and feet and lips are tied in a prison, a way will be figured out for your escape. And I am not talking of just outer prison, but the inner prison, which is far more dangerous. But if you forget it, you may be in an ashram where all the things are there to make your life evolve. But you may say, oh, wonderful. Now I have everything. I have food to eat. I have nice swimming pool. Everything is there. So I don't need to make a progress. So this urge for progress, the aim of life, that is what is the core of integral living. Life is constantly in motion. Give it a direction and a purpose. If you don't give to life, life is by its nature movement. Life is defined as that. There are two things which define life: movement and expansion. So expansion is widening, expansion of consciousness, growth of consciousness. Movement needs a direction. Otherwise life will move. It will move any which way. It will move pushed by like a football by 10,000 forces all around. So we may choose to let it flow like that, drift like that, and be happy till we fall down back to the dust, or we give it a purpose. So this is the core of integral living, that give it a purpose. And what better purpose than the divine, the greatest discovery, the highest adventure. If we give it that purpose, then we will forever feel young. Because even toward the last breath, see, I often say the sign of a person's, if you want to know a person's worth, don't see anything outward, all this, you won't know. There are two conditions in which you will see a person's worth. First is how the person is during a state of crisis. You'll know a person's worth. And second is how he confronts death. A whole lifetime one may have lived doing all kinds of things, Sirsasana and Savasana, but in face of death, how he behaves. Is he afraid? Is he trying to desperately hold on to something, cling to something, clutch at something, material outward to save himself? That life has been very, very ordinary. But the extraordinary life is that when death comes, you simply say, wait. And death waits. And when you are ready, you say, okay, not you. I want the Lord to come and take me. And when He comes, you say, come. Hippepurre. That's death. So, but that's toward the end when Sri Aurobindo was asked that, it is said in the Gita that at dying time when you remember the divine, you get moksha. He says, yes, but don't disconnect it from the previous sloka. So what is the previous sloka? He says, remember me at all times and fight. Therefore, O Arjuna. So whatever has driven us during lifetime, that is going to be there present during our moment of death. And death, when we know we have lived a beautiful life, we know it's a moment of transition. Even if we didn't believe that there is something like a rebirth and all, you have lived a life which is beautiful. Not for selfish reasons, not just in a mean way, only looking after what I am getting from life, but given generously. How beautiful it would be when the body falls and, whatever else may happen. I'm saying in the widest possible way. Of course, there is the soul, there is rebirth, but even if you bring nothing, to lead a beautiful life means when the moment comes of transition, you are ready and you say, come, here I come. You decide, you pick and choose. So this is the core of integral living, to have a goal. Integral healing.